Welcome to aminacademy.com. In astronomy, let us discuss about layers of sun. The layers of atmosphere of the sun. The atmosphere of the sun is made up of some layers. Let us discuss them one by one. Photosphere. The photosphere has a thickness of about 500 km and all the visible light from the sun comes from this layer. With temperature coming down to approximately 5500 degrees Celsius, it is said to be the coolest part of the sun because with an increase in height, the temperature drops. The phenomenon of sunspot happens in the photosphere. Next is sunspots. The dark spots on the surface of the sun are known as sunspots. This happens because the region becomes darker and cooler than the surrounding due to intense magnetic fields on the surface. The lifetime of sunspot is generally less. It fluctuates from a few days to a few months. Umbra is named as the center of a sunspot, and penumbra is known as the lighter region of the surroundings. The absence, the absence of sunspots might affect the Earth's climate because it is supposed that the sun becomes 1% cooler in the absence of sunspots. Chromosphere. The chromosphere is visible as a dim red ring and it lies just above the photosphere. Only during the solar eclipses, when the photosphere is hidden, visible light from the chromosphere can be seen. With the increase in height, the temperature increases. Corona. The corona layer is the outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere and it lies above the chromosphere. During a total solar eclipse, it can be seen as a white glowing corona. Up to 2 million degrees Celsius, the temperature on the corona spreads and the reason for it is still unknown. Corona, mass ejection, solar winds, and solar flares are the phenomenon related to corona. Solar flares, what is that? When magnetic energy is suddenly released, immediate flashy and increased brightness occurs, which is known as solar flares. Magnetic irregularities are the reason for their occurrence. Anywhere between 10 to 20 million degrees Celsius, these are magnetic storms that heat up. What is solar winds? The flow of energized charged particles at a very high speed is known as solar wind. At a temperature equal to 1 million degrees Celsius, the speed of solar wind is as high as 900 km per second. It is composed of plasma and generally contains protons, electrons, and alpha particles. Stay tuned with our videos. Now, let us discuss further detail with the layers of the sun. The sun's atmosphere is not uniform, it's structured into distinct layers, each with unique properties and temperatures. These layers from innermost to outermost are photosphere. We discussed before, further discussion continues. This is the visible surface of the sun and layer from which most of the light and heat we observe originates. The sun's photosphere, the visible surface, is primarily composed of a hydrogen and helium, making up about 99% of its mass. Specifically, hydrogen accounts for roughly 71 to 75% and helium for about 24 to 25%. Trace amounts of heavier elements like oxygen, carbon, neon, and iron also exist within the photosphere, but they constitute less than 2% of its mass. Next is chromosphere. The layer above the photosphere characterized by reddish light emitted due to its temperature and the presence of hydrogen. The chromosphere, the second layer of the sun's atmosphere, is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium plasma. This plasma is ionized, emitting red visible light that gives the chromosphere its characteristic color and is observable during solar eclipses. Transition region of the sun. What is that? Here, look at this sun's some sectional view. Core is a radioactive zone, this connective zone, and chromosphere, and this is a transition region and corona. The transition region of the sun is a thin, irregular layer that separates from chromosphere from the corona. It's characterized by a rapid temperature increase from the relatively cooler chromosphere to the extremely hot corona. What is corona? The outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere, extending millions of kilometers into space. It's extremely hot and can also be seen during total solar eclipses. Within these layers, dynamic phenomena like solar flares, prominences, and sunspot occurs, driven by the complex interplay of magnetic fields and plasma. The sun's corona is the outermost part of its atmosphere, extending millions of kilometers into space. It's a very hot, low density plasma, and its appearance and size vary due to the sun's magnetic field. The corona is typically hidden by the bright light of the sun's surface, but it can be viewed during a total solar eclipse or with specialized instruments. What is solar wind? Solar wind is a continuous stream of charged particles, primarily electrons and protons, that are emitted by the sun's corona and flow outwards into space. This stream of particles travels throughout the solar system, extending far beyond the planets. The solar wind is a significant factor in shaping the space environment and influencing the behavior of planets and other celestial bodies. So far, we discussed a little about sun's different layers. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.